Today's video is about wax and all about wax, because a few weeks ago I offered you in the Detail Freaks and Detailing Central Facebook groups that you can ask me about personal individual wax recommendations, and this video is exactly for that. So let's start with that. A few short notes before we begin. When I talk about a certain finish a wax can provide, let's say a wet look finish, a mirror-like finish, we always only talk about nuances in finishes. It is perfectly possible that 90% of us, and I include myself in that, will not be able to tell the difference between a waxed surface and an unwaxed surface. However, there are waxes which are able to create a layer on the surface of your car's paint which reflects light in a different way and therefore creates, for example, a wet look. So always keep that in mind when we talk about certain finishes. When we talk about durability, I will not give you specific numbers in this video claiming that a wax lasts 3, 6 or 12 months, because I personally think that this is bullshit. I already did a separate video in which I explained that there are so many different factors influencing durability which I don't know, you don't necessarily have an influence on. So we will only talk about durability of waxes relatively and compared to each other. Also keep in mind that all the wax recommendations I will give you in the following few minutes are my personal recommendations based on what I know, what I experienced with these waxes. It is perfectly possible that other people will give you other recommendations, and I also don't know every wax there exists on the planet, but I will try to do my best and to give you sound recommendations based on what I know. So let's now start with the recommendations for you. Now, the first person who reacted to my posting in the Detail Freaks and Detailing Central Facebook groups was Andi Parry. He asked for a wax for 25 pounds or under in full-size tins, 125 milliliter plus. So he said no sample sizes. He said 4 to 6 months of protection. In this time, 2,500 to 3,000 miles are driven. The car is washed every 2 to 3 weeks with LSP safe products. LSP means last stage protection. So the last product you applied during a full detail of your car. Sheeting better than beading. Warm gloss, must be easy to use, must be slick, must smell good, and must be from the UK or be easily available in the UK. Now, what you have to know with this request is that Andi is some sort of a sneaky bastard in the best possible way, because Andi is the creator and the man behind Detail Bug. And indeed, Detail Bug has a unique position in the market because all the waxes he offers, magnetize, I think tailored towards hydrophobics and durability, hybrid in the middle, and Firefly, a temperature resistant show wax, although I'm not sure if this already is discontinued. They offer you exceptional value for money, because I think we talk about between 10 and 15 bucks for this full size 125 milliliter pots. And I think what happened here is that Andi just wanted to hijack my video and almost forced me to tell you about his products. And the thing is, I happily do that because these waxes, as I said, offer exceptional, outstanding value for money. And I highly recommend to every one of you that you actually try those waxes, especially if you are from the UK and want to support UK-based manufacturers. However, what Andi, I think, did not realize is that there is a considerable number of alternatives which offer similar characteristics for a similar value for money. And in this respect, we shall not forget the originator of good value for money, easy to use, nice smelling, high quality car waxes, which is Dodo Juice with their Core 8 waxes. Core 8 means that these waxes were the ones which started Dodo Juice, which is the Rainforest Rub and the Hard Candy. soft wax, hard wax, both meant to be applied to all colored cars. Then we have Orange Crush, soft wax, Banana Armor, hard wax, both for warm colored cars. Then we have the Blue Velvet hard wax and Purple Haze soft wax for dark colored cars. And we have Diamond White hard wax and Light Fantastic soft wax, both for light colored cars. These waxes, even after all the years they were introduced, are still, in my opinion, amongst the best all-rounders and the best wax a beginner can choose, because they are so incredibly easy to use, offer exceptional value for money, because you actually get 250 milliliters of wax in there. They are easy, they are nice to use, they smell fantastic. So Andi, you should definitely not forget about Dodo juice. But there are even more alternatives, especially from UK-based manufacturers. We have, for example, Immaculate Reflection. Now, if you love nice smelling waxes, I actually think that Immaculate Reflection is pretty much on top of the game when it comes to scents, because all their products, and especially their waxes, smell absolutely fantastic and amazing. And when it comes to value for money, their classic Carnauba is a very good wax, especially if you like the sheeting more than the beading characteristics. Their Showstopper entry-level wax is also very good, but I think the gem in their lineup is the Ultimate Blend. You get, I think, 100 milliliter pots of those waxes for very, very fair prices. So they are also good alternatives to what Andi offers. Then we have AutoGlanz Paradox, which once was the entry-level wax from AutoGlanz, but I actually think it is one of their better performing ones because it offers amazing hydrophobic. So this definitely, I think, is more of a beader than a sheeter. Although I'm personally also convinced of the fact that you cannot completely separate the two phenomena of beading and sheeting completely from each other, because I also think that the amount of water and how it is spilled on your car's paint definitely has an influence on the beading and on the sheeting. But this wax also comes at a very attractive price point for a rather large tin of wax. You get 150 milliliters here. It smells nice, I think, of oranges, so it's also a nice alternative. Then again, from Dodo Juice, we have the basics of Bling Protection Wax. I think it's a hybrid wax, so it offers a tiny bit more than the Core 8 we just talked about in terms of hydrophobics and durability. Also very, very fairly priced. And then a wax which unfortunately is discontinued, which is ODK Empire. I personally think that this is amongst, if not the best all-rounder wax there ever was, because it smells amazing. It is unbelievably easy to use. It creates a nice warm finish. It creates very good hydrophobics. All of the ODK waxes are fantastic, but I think in terms of the balance of its capabilities and for the price point that Dan asked for these waxes, this was an absolutely amazing offer, and I hope that he at some point brings this wax back. So Andi, again, very good alternative. Then we have, let's call them the premium manufacturers. Mitchell & King has the RPM. There is a V2 version out right now, very fairly priced for this 200 milliliter pot. Then we have HB Sauce, who I think asks for the 100 milliliter pots of his waxes 30 bucks, which is a tiny little bit above the price threshold you gave, Andi, but every single one of those waxes from HB Sauce is unbelievably easy to use, is of incredible high quality when it comes to the pour, the ingredients, the scents he uses. So this also is a very, very good UK-based alternative. Then we have an exceptional wax in the market, Into Detailing Crystal Ceramic Coating Wax, which value for money wise is pretty much unbeatable, because you get a wax which shows incredibly strong hydrophobics, is rather durable, is lovely and exceptionally easy to use, smells of coconut milk, yes, is technically, I think, not made by Into Detailing, but by Tonyin, which is a Chinese manufacturer. However, it is easily available in the UK. And I think you pay like 20 to 25 bucks for this 200 gram tin. So exceptional wax also for the value of money. Then a classic Collinite 476S. The only downside to this is it does not smell as nice as the other waxes I just told you about. However, when it comes to the performance and value of money, this is definitely a wax to be mentioned. Then, amongst the lines of the best all-rounder waxes I just told you about regarding ODK Empire is also Infinity Wax SuperGloss Plus. Very strong hydrophobics, very easy to use, very durable, comes in a fantastically presented white glass pot, is available in 50 milliliters as well, and extremely fairly priced. I actually think they could sell this wax for pretty much double the price and it would still be an amazing offer. So this one has to be mentioned at this point as well. Then there's the Detail Freaks Ultimate Ceramic Wax. Now, I'm extremely skeptical when manufacturers claim their waxes last 6, 9, 12 months or more if they are based on beeswax, Carnauba wax and so on, even if it is some sort of ceramic in there. However, this one actually works really nice, easy to use, very good hydrophobics. The RRP is definitely higher than what you ask for, Andi, but I think every couple of weeks there's a sale for this wax, and at the sale price this is an exceptional offer as well. Then we have a rather new offer, which is the rnagloss Fantastisk, also a very good all-rounder. Smells lovely, is easy to use, is a hybrid wax, offers decent hydrophobics, decent durability, also amongst the lines of your waxes, Andi. And the ones I personally think come closest to what you offer in terms of unbeatable value for money, extreme ease of use, they smell nice, they are nice to work with, are the Waxed Junkies waxes, and pretty much all of them. But I think the gem in their lineup is the Tropical Hybrid when it comes to a tiny bit more durability and hydrophobics. But Sugar Rush, Cult Classic, Coco Copernictia, all fantastic waxes. And when I think what you get and how much wax you get and how well they are made and what is in them, I actually think, Andi, if you're open to try other manufacturers' waxes, you will have a pleasant surprise at what this one offers, and it will also give you some idea what you could maybe make a tiny little bit better than what you already offer and what already is an amazing product. But I think those are the recommendations you asked for or didn't ask for, Andi. And I hope to give you some ideas what alternatives there could be to your fantastic waxes. Andi, I almost forgot, Poorboys Natty's Paste Wax is also a nice alternative. The next request was from Harris Michaels in the Detailing Central community group. He asked for a wax up to 30 bucks. What's important for him is durability, ease of use, and hydrophobics. You do 4K miles a year, mainly motorway driving. You do not often wash your car because you're a university student, so you only have the opportunity to wash your car in summer or Christmas holidays. Scent, you say, as long as it is a specific nice scent and not just chemicals, you're okay with it. And it should be easily available in the UK. Now, what you ask for does not really exist, and this is an issue that a lot of people have when they start looking for waxes, because what you don't realize is that waxes are in their nature compromised products. When a wax manufacturer develops a new wax, he has to decide which characteristics to focus on, and especially waxes which are highly tailored towards a strong durability, they most of the time are not products that are easy to use. And also, if a wax is something that creates a lot of gloss or a wet look finish, it most of the times is not a very durable product. So when you ask for something that is durable and easy to use, this is somewhat of difficult to achieve, especially if you have a limited budget of up to 30 bucks. So I had to somewhat cheat in my recommendations, because a lot of those recommendations will only be 50 milliliter pots, so small one. However, when I think about how often you say you do wash and prepare your car, these could actually stack up pretty nicely. However, one last hint for you: if you only do wash your car twice a year in the summer and Christmas holidays, the hydrophobic effect that these waxes give you will definitely wash out after, let's say, 6 to 8 weeks, because then there will just be too much dirt on your car that the hydrophobics actually show through them. So please keep that in mind when we talk about my recommendations here. So the Dodo Juice Protection Wax, the Detail Freak Ceramic Wax, the Detail Bug Magnetize and Hybrid one we talked about before in Andy's tips are also very good alternatives. The rnagloss Fantastisk and the AutoGlanz Paradox will also work out nicely for you, I think. The Waxed Junkies Tropical Hybrid will also be a very good alternative. And I think we are almost done with the full-size pot recommendations I can give you, except for the Into Detailing Crystal Ceramic Coating Wax and Collinite 476S. With all the other ones we now talk about, you will have to go to smaller pots in order to stay within your budget. Autobright Hellshine The Abyss. Now, some people will tell you that this is not a wax, it is a synthetic paint sealant, and they are right. But at this point, I want to quote John from the Forensic Detailing channel: if it comes in a tin and it looks like a wax, then it is a fucking wax. You get a wax with a strange pudding-like texture, but is very hydrophobic and very durable, and in the small pot could actually work out well for you. Also, the Infinity Wax SuperGloss Plus, and a tiny little bit harder to get in the UK, is the Neo Wax number 2, also a synthetic, very durable, very hydrophobic, but still easy to use wax. Then we have Simple Wax Armor and Simple Wax Armageddon, both very incredibly, almost ridiculously easy to use and still very durable. We have something like HB Sauce Beadmeister Hybrid. We have a lot of waxes from Wax Planet actually, but I think Xodis Prime and Solarized are the ones you should look for. And then we have ODK Envious, again a synthetic wax, but incredibly durable. So you see, you have quite a lot of choice. You absolutely can base your choice of which one of those waxes to get based on the scent, based on the looks of the tints, based on your feeling towards the manufacturers of those waxes, but all of them would meet your requirements pretty well. Next up was Harry Fairbrass in the Detailing Central community. You ask for a wax which costs up to 50 bucks, and you say you could probably be tempted to pay more. It's not necessarily important. What's important to you is durability, because you like waxing the car, so anything above 3 months is fine for you. You drive 300 miles per month, your car is parked outside, you wash it every 2 to 4 weeks. Regarding hydrophobics, you want beads with an exclamation mark, you want gloss and a wet look. You say you enjoy the process of waxing, but you don't want something that makes it hard work. Regarding slickness, you say the slicker the better. The scent, as long as it's pleasant, you don't mind, and you want it to be easily available in the UK. So again, with you, you kind of want everything from a wax. What makes it problematic for me is that you want something which is very durable, but also creates a lot of gloss. And these two things pretty much exclude each other. However, you say that you only drive 300 miles per month, which is not actually that much. So I actually think that we can recommend you some waxes which will be able to achieve the durability of 3 months and more that you are looking for. I had to exclude a lot of waxes from my recommendations because they are even not as easy to use as you want them to be, or they stink. So something like Infinity Wax Synergy is not actually that straightforward to use because it has a very short cure time. Because when it comes to Soft 99 Fusel Coat, some people will tell you it's easy to use, some people will tell you horror stories about it. I personally think that it is not actually that hard to apply and remove, but it can be if you let it cure for too long, if the temperatures are too hot, if the humidity levels are not right. It can create streaking, smearing and clouding, so that's why I did not want to recommend them to you, and also both of them stink. This is also the issue with Bilthamber Double Speed Wax, which would be a nice alternative for you because it can be very durable, it can be glossy, it is very hydrophobic, but it stinks, and it also is rather problematic if you apply it if it's too warm outside, because it can create oily, waxy holograms and start sweating in hotter temperatures. So this is why I did not recommend it to you. Something like Vonix Blend is nice to use, is very hydrophobic, lasts a decent amount of time, but does not smell nice. And then we have something like Autobright Hellshine The Abyss, which is a synthetic paste sealant / synthetic wax, which is relatively easy to use, is very durable, is very hydrophobic, smells nice of cinnamon, but does not really create the warm, wet look gloss that you are looking for, being that it is a synthetic paste sealant. But there still are a lot of alternatives that you can go to. You have the Dodo Juice Basics of Bling Protection Wax. You have the Ultimate Ceramic Wax from Detail Freaks. You have something like Tropical Hybrid from Wax Junkies. You have the Detail Bug Magnetize and Hybrid. They are durable, they are easy to use, they are very, very cheap, but I think in terms of the gloss level you are looking for, the other ones I will tell you are a tiny bit better. You have Stja Gloss Fantastisk, you have AutoGlanz Paradox. All of them are very, very cheap to get. You don't really have to pay the $50 you are willing to, or even more than that. So very good alternatives with an incredible value for money. However, when it comes to what you are actually looking for, I think the other ones I will now tell you about are actually better. A tiny bit harder to get in the UK, but not impossible. Neowax #1, which is a ceramic wax, ridiculously easy to use, extremely hydrophobic, creates a very nice gloss, but as I said, is a tiny bit harder to get in the UK. Then we have Auto Finesse Fusion, creates a very slick surface, is very hydrophobic, but can be on the upper limit regarding the price you're willing to pay. Wowo's Contact 1-to-1 could also be a very good wax for what you're looking for. Infinity Wax SuperGloss Plus, also excellent value for money. Then we have HB Sauce Ceramic and HB Sauce Beadmeister Hybrid. We have the collaboration wax of Simple Wax and Wax Planet, which is called Armageddon, which is also a synthetic wax. We have Zymel Titanium, and then we finally have ODK Concours, which is an absolutely incredible smelling wax. Yes, smells of really ripe, fresh mangoes from Thailand. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations to you, Dan, on this fantastic wax. But all of them, I think, would work and would give you pretty much what you are looking for. I almost forgot to. Bounces Vanilla Ice and Bounces Sherbet Fizz are also two waxes which I think do meet your requirements. And lastly, we have the request from Adam Gill. He asked for a wax up to $30. What's important for him is slickness and gloss, and pretty much the only two things. Durability, he says, whatever I can get. Perfect. Miles per month, 200, parked outside, washed probably every 2 weeks. Hydrophobics, he wants beads. Regarding gloss, you want a hard mirror-like finish and wet look. These pretty much exclude each other because hard mirror-like finish is pretty much the opposite of wet look, so you will have to decide what you want. Ease of use, you don't wanna make me wish I didn't use it, but I'm up for a challenge, okay. Slickness is a must. Scent, the more pleasant the better, but it's not a major issue and should be easily available in the UK. Now, if you would not have said that you want beads, I would have told you that the Surf City Garage Barrier Reef pretty much is what you're looking for. Unbelievably easy to use, amongst the slickest waxes I have ever felt, very glossy, but not very durable and more of a sheeter than a beater. So this one, unfortunately, was out, but there's still some alternatives I want to give you. The Detail Freaks Ultimate Ceramic Wax is not the slickest wax I've ever tried, but it's slick and glossy enough, I think. All of the Dodo Juice Core 8 waxes, so Rainforest Rub, Hard Candy, and the other ones tailored to a specific color, would pretty much be glossy and slick. They bead, but they're not the strongest beaders on the planet. Therefore, the Dodo Juice Protection Wax or Basics of Bling Protection Wax would probably be a tiny bit better. And the Stja Gloss Fantastics would be pretty much on this level, although it's a slightly more modern wax. AutoGlanz Paradox would also, I think, be amongst the best I can recommend to you. Detail Bug, Magnetize, and Hybrid are not the glossiest, but they're still glossy enough, I think, and definitely hydrophobic and slick. Then pretty much any of the Wax Junkies waxes, I did not try them head to head, so I can't tell you which is the slickest of the ones they have, but I think the new Bead Raver would be a good point to start. Simple Wax Gloss and Simple Wax Armageddon in the smaller pot fit into your budget and are both very slick, very hydrophobic. Soft 99, the king of gloss, which stinks a bit, but is amongst the glossiest waxes that Soft 99 offer and is hydrophobic and is very slick. Then we have Infinity Wax SuperGloss Plus. We have HB Sauce Beadmeister Hybrid, which you will have to get in the smaller 150 milliliter pots, so it fits into your budget. And those are the waxes I could recommend to you. If you would put a gun to my head and force me to make a decision for you, I think that the AutoGlanz Paradox and the Simple Wax Armageddon would be the waxes I could mostly recommend to you.